Puff runs around to his car. Runs around on Big's side. Yo, Big, you all right? You all right?
Big couldn't even walk. He couldn't run.
Also known as Biggie Smalls. He was gunned down early today.
But Puff grabbed me about both of my arms. He said, Gene, we gotta pray. We gotta pray. So they don't cheat you out your money like they doing your man right here. And I was talking about Big, because I had read his whole contract.
And by the time you get there, is he already dead in the car?
I wanted to make sure that this dream meant something at the end of the day, because this young man, lost his life throughout this journey.
Someone who had been closely connected to Sean Combs for years is now raising eyebrows by suggesting that the rapper, business mogul, and now indicted criminal defendant may have played a role in the killing of Notorious B.I.G. This revelation is adding another layer of intrigue to an already complex web of allegations surrounding Combs.
He just wanted to be out of Bad Boy and out with Puff. Because Puff owned his publishing, that's a whole lot of money.
One of the most infamous unsolved crimes of the past 50 years is the murder of Christopher Wallace, better known as Notorious B.I.G. On March 9, 1997, the rapper was tragically gunned down in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles after attending a Vibe magazine Soul Train Awards party at the Peterson Automotive Museum. Despite decades of speculation, countless theories, and endless rumors, no arrests have ever been made in connection with the case.
Los Angeles police are investigating the shooting death of rapper Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls. He was gunned down early today.
However, a shocking new accusation has emerged, suggesting that Sean Diddy Combs, the man who has been under intense scrutiny recently, may have been involved in Biggie's murder. This claim comes from Gene Deal, Combs' former bodyguard, who has been increasingly vocal about his time working for Diddy, especially in light of the mogul's current legal troubles. Combs, who faces charges of sexual assault, sex trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution, is currently detained at a Brooklyn detention center, awaiting trial scheduled for May 5th, 2025. Gene Deal, who reportedly served as Diddy's bodyguard from 1991 to 2005, shared his thoughts during an interview for the new Peacock documentary, Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy. When asked directly about Combs' potential involvement in Biggie's murder, Deal responded, "Could Diddy have had something to do with it? He could have." He based this claim on his perception of Combs' unusual behavior, leading up to the 24-year-old rapper's untimely death.
He was just acting real anxious and trying to get Big at this party. Big was telling people he had to be in London, but Puff was telling people he ain't going to London.
Gene believes Diddy could have set Biggie up by placing him in the atmosphere where he'd be killed. He even goes on to detail how, in their last conversation,
fast forward to the day of the party, and Gene Deal recalls receiving a call at around 9 p.m. while staying at the Beverly Hills Hotel. "They told me, 'Gene, get ready, we're going to the Vibe party,'" he says. Surprised and concerned, Deal questioned the decision, noting, "We're going to this party, and we don't have any security." According to Deal, he tried to warn Combs that attending the event without proper precautions might not be a wise move.
I said, "Yo, Puff, I got some intel, bro." He said, "What's up, Gene?" I said, "I have some intel that people gonna come and try to kill us." He said, "Gene, I don't wanna hear that. I don't wanna hear that, Gene." I said, "You don't wanna hear that. That's what you mean you don't wanna hear that." He said, "Yo, Gene, you ain't gotta go if you don't wanna go." Got up from the table and walked out the door. When I walked out the door, guess who's out there? The Notorious B.I.G in this green Chevy Suburban. D-Rock is playing up with Tone, and they got a Nerf ball playing with a basketball goal, doing like that. I said, "Yo, Big, somebody gonna try to come kill us tonight." And Lucy's, who I hadn't seen all week, you understand? Lucy says, "Gene, go ahead on with that cop shit. You always think you know something." I said, "I know one thing, you better get you a GED. You know what that is? A good enough degree so they don't cheat you out your money like they doing your man right here. And I was talking to about Big, because I had read his whole contract on the plane, because Puff had gave me the briefcase. When he gave me the briefcase, you know, like he just do some boss shit, hand me the briefcase, and went to first class, and I went to coach in the emergency exit, and I just opened it up, and started reading the shit. So I'm saying, because at the end of the contract, Big was begging for his, well, he was asking for his publishing and his marketing back, and Puff was saying in the contract, we'll revisit that at a later date. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just reading this story. I got 6 hours on this plane. I'm gonna go through whatever's in this briefcase. So that's what I did. So I said, so they don't cheat your man out your money right here. And Big said, yo, Gene, I'm gonna have Rock and Tone hold you while Lil C's get his shit off. I said, all that shit sound good, it may make you feel good, but it won't be healthy. You understand? And then next thing you know, Puff was coming out the door. When Puff was coming out the door, he said, come on, let's go. I got in the car with Puff, and we all went to the Peterson Museum.
The rivalry between the East Coast and West Coast hip-hop scenes in the 1990s is legendary. On the West Coast, you had Death Row Records, led by Suge Knight, with artists like Dr. Dre and Tupac Shakur, who tragically lost his life in a Las Vegas shooting in 1996. Many believe Biggie's murder was an act of retribution for Tupac's death. On the East Coast, there was Bad Boy Entertainment, Sean Combs' powerhouse label featuring his star artist Biggie. Together, Diddy and Biggie delivered iconic hits like Mo Money Mo Problems, It's All About the Benjamins, and Victory.
You know Pac just got killed. It ain't no kind of business Big was doing. Big couldn't even walk, he couldn't run. They was pushing him around in a wheelchair, brother. Why the hell would you rent studio time in LA for him to finish your album when in fact you got your own studio, Daddy's house? Let's keep it a buck. Let's stop this bullshit, man. Why in the hell you would put your man in a situation by sending him to Cali to work on your album?
Gene Deal continues to describe what unfolded after they all left the vibe party that night.
I stands on side of the car. I got my left arm on the top of it, and my arm on the guardrail with my gun out, right? I got my gun out. I get on the side rail. Puff said, yo, Gene, get in this car. We don't need that. I said, I'm sorry about that.
Totally fine, go.
Right. He said, how the F you gonna tell me how to do my job? How you gonna tell me how to do my job? He said, yo, Gene, get in here. I said, man, what are you talking about getting in here? How you gonna tell me how to do my job? He said, get in here or you ain't gonna work another day for Bad Boy. So it wasn't so much I was thinking about working for Bad Boy. It was the fact that I know it's beef out here. And if I don't get in this car, how I'm gonna get home? I'm gonna get back to the Beverly Hills Hotel. And then the fact, so then I gets in the car. As soon as I get to this car, he pulls his seat all the way back. So now my legs are sideways. I said, man, what the F you doing? I said, yo, Kenny, run the next 3 lights. Run the next 3 lights, Kenny. He said, why? I said, Kenny, let me drive then. If you ain't gonna run the next 3 lights, let me drive, Kenny. Kenny takes off. We takes her from that spot. We didn't stop at it was a flashing red light. We didn't stop like that. We went across the light. As we going across the light, Tone, who's behind me, says, yo, Big them ain't coming across the light. Yo, somebody pointing a gun at Big. I goes to open the door, right? We hear something say, pap, 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 pap. Kenny guns the car going forward. I said, Kenny, what the f are you doing, Kenny? Kenny, what are you doing? He said, they say somebody shoot, yeah, motherfucker, they shooting at Big. What the f is you doing, Kenny? He stops the car when we halfway down the block. Did a backs up, do the U-turn, come back around. We see the car speeding out. We stop right in the middle, right in the front of Big's car with the other Suburban. Big cars look like airplane because all the doors is open. You know what I'm saying? Except his. You understand what I'm saying? All the doors is open. Nobody's in the car, nothing like that. Puff runs around to his car. Runs around on Big's side. Yo, Big, you all right? You all right? Tone say, yo, Gene, come on. Come on, Gene. Me and Tone jumped in the other Suburban and we chases after the car. We chase after the car and it seemed like we going up this hill, like a slant over there. It's like a hill going up that way. We get to the top. When we get to the top, we don't see nothing. We don't see nobody.
According to the FBI, Biggie was sitting in the passenger seat of a Chevy Suburban when the vehicle stopped at a red light and a shooter suddenly opened fire. Gene Deal recounts the horrifying moment, saying that after Biggie was struck by 4 bullets, he tried desperately to keep him awake and talking to increase his chances of survival. Deal says that when they told Biggie they were rushing him to the hospital, Biggie responded with, "Just do it." Deal recalls, "That's the last thing I heard Big say." Despite being told the hospital was only 2 blocks away, Deal describes the drive as feeling like the longest 2 blocks of his life.
This is what happened. When Kenny got in the car, and Puff said, yo, I told him, yo, stay right here and let the ambulance come to us, y'all. And Puff made the decision. No, we going to the hospital. Kenny, you know where the hospital at? So then Kenny said, yeah, I know where the hospital at. Somebody told me it was a hospital 2 blocks away from the Peterson Museum.
Okay, so you guys go to Cedars-Sinai.
Right, but it took us like 30 minutes to get there.
And by the time you get there, is he already dead in the car or not yet?
No, I couldn't even tell you. Because what I did was I say, whatever y'all do, don't let him go to sleep. Keep him up. Don't let him close his eyes. Keep him up. That's his last word. And then Kenny said, I'm gonna take you to the hospital, Big. Big, I'm gonna get you to the hospital. And the last words I heard Big said, just do it.
Turning back to Diddy, Deal recalls the moments at the hospital where Biggie tragically passed away less than an hour after arriving. Deal says he explained the situation to Combs, recounting what had happened to Biggie.
But Puff grabbed me about both of my arms. He said, Gene, we gotta pray. We gotta pray. And I pushed that hands off me and I said, pray for what? That is dead.
The Peacock documentary, Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, highlights that Sean Combs has consistently denied any involvement in the killings of Biggie and Tupac. Following the documentary's release, Diddy's legal team issued a statement asserting that Sean Combs unequivocally denies the baseless allegations being circulated in connection with this documentary. What do you think about these revelations? Could there be more to the story, or are these just baseless allegations? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on the latest stories. Thanks for watching.